Welcome back, my newbie and my existing work-from-homers. I'm Shortcut Sherry, and I've been inspired to do a series of videos to help you to learn to work from home more easily using Office 365. In this video, we're going to focus on sharing and working together using files in Microsoft Teams. When you create a new team and you create a new channel in a team, you automatically create a place to store and share your files. On any channel across the top, you should see a Files tab. Here's the Files tab for the General channel, and a File tab for the Award channel. Notice they're all empty right now. I just want to point out the General, Awards, Campaigns, Events, and Product channels on the left-hand side. Where are these files stored? Let me give you a little secret. All of these years, I've been a SharePoint consultant, and people have complained about SharePoint. I don't like SharePoint. SharePoint sucks. I can't find anything in SharePoint. Well, guess what? What they're not telling you is that behind the scenes, in Teams, the storage for your files is in SharePoint. And there's a reason that I'm sharing this with you now. There's been a recent change in the way things are structured and how we save files from Outlook that, frankly, I just found today. So I want to demystify where those files are stored in Teams. And I just want to say, suck it, people. It's SharePoint. Click the little ellipsis if you don't see the option. It says Open in SharePoint. Behind the scenes in your Teams is a SharePoint site. Because I was on the Awards channel, it takes me to the Documents library in the Awards folder. Let's click back to the documents either here or here. This is a breadcrumb, or you can go directly to the library. Notice the folders here have the exact same names that our Teams channels have. Awards, Campaigns, Events, General, and Products, in alphabetical order instead. Okay, why is that important? Why do you need to know this? Because of a recent change. Let's go back to Outlook. Now, traditionally, when you had to collaborate on a file, what most people think of is they would save a file to a network drive, and each person might go in and edit that file when they had time. However, when one person was in that file, another person would not be able to work on it because it would be locked out. Our second option is to download the file, make our changes, and send it to the next person. And they would download it, make their changes, and send it to the next person. The problem with that is that maybe what's on fire for you is not as important to the other people down the line. Case in point, we had a situation this week. My business partner, Leanne, and I were asked to create some documentation for a client proposal. They needed it now. That was her word. I need it now. We actually got it done in about an hour. But if you can imagine, if I had just done my part and sent it over to Leanne, it probably would have at least doubled that time. Plus, Leanne and I were able to collaborate and work on it together and bounce ideas off each other. So it worked out perfectly using Microsoft Teams. If you have files that have been sent to you in Outlook, instead of downloading them and emailing them around, it would probably be a better idea to upload them to a Teams workspace and then let everybody do their part. Before we do that, let me show you a little trick in Outlook. I see this all the time. It drives me crazy. Let's say David said he sent me some information and he needs me to look at it. What I see most people do is they'll go up here to the search bar and then they'll search for David. As soon as I clicked in the search bar, notice what happened to the ribbon. Nobody notices this. It automatically changes your ribbon to the Search Tools contextual tab. Here are all the tools that help me find information in my inbox. There's two types of email users. There's filers and there's pilers. And regardless of which one you are, you can use this search functionality. Notice the scope says current mailbox. I could change it to just current folder if I wanted to. All right, so instead of searching for David, maybe I just use this little button up here that says has attachments. Maybe I got a lot of email from David, so searching for David doesn't help me because then I'm going to have to look for David and then I'm going to have to find that little paper clip that's on the right-hand side. As I'm getting older, believe me, I'm not seeing those little paper clips like I used to. All right, so here's my attachments. Now I could add from, as if I needed to, David. These are called refiners, so they add to each other. Use the search tools tab, people. It is a godsend, right? Here's the file that he told me that he wanted me to work on. Now, I previously saved this to my OneDrive. Maybe I should have saved it to Teams. So I'm going to click the little drop down here. To save it to a Microsoft Teams file tab, you have to click the Upload button, and then you have the option of where you want to upload it to. The first one is your own OneDrive. So if you just need to work on this with just another peer and you don't really have a Teams workspace, that might be a good option for you. If you need to collaborate with your people, then you can select the team here. So I'm going to select the marketing team. Now, I'm being straight up with you. This changed since I just saw it a couple of weeks ago, I believe. It's been saved to Teams. It tells me it was saved. All right, let's go back to Teams. I'm now in the marketing team, and I need to find that file. Where did it go? I'm looking in the General tab, and it's not there. I look in the Awards tab. It's not there. Remember, when it asked me where I wanted to save the file, it only asked me for the team. This is my gift to you because it took me about 5 minutes to figure out where they put it after I saved it trying to do this video about half an hour ago. All right, so where did that file go? In the marketing team, in the documents folder, this is where they saved it. So if you didn't know that SharePoint was in the background and it was saving the documents in the documents library of the SharePoint site, here are all the channels. It's saving it outside the channel. So I would go back and look in Teams and try to figure out where it goes. If I need to work on this file in my campaigns channel, then maybe I need to move it. So here is just a great option to share with you something else. All right, so if I need to move this file, you cannot drag and drop inside a web browser window. Doesn't work. I need to select the file, choose the option to move it, which I don't see on the ribbon. I'm going to have to expand the More Options button, the ... click Move To. In this current library, under the campaigns, and move it here. So now I go back to the awards channel, click on campaigns, look in files, and ta-da, like magic, here's my file that I was looking for. So that's my little gray hair moment to you that I just earned today. This is the nature of Office 365. They make changes all the time and don't necessarily communicate them. So I'm sorry if that would be confusing for you, but hopefully I just saved you about 20-30 minutes, if not hours, trying to figure out where the heck that file went. I found it in 5 just because I understand the architecture, but not everybody understands how everything's built, which is fine. Some of us just need to be able to use the tool effectively, right? All right, so now this file, when I click on it, I can view the file if I need to, but this takes me to the web version of PowerPoint, in this case, because it's a PowerPoint presentation. I can edit the file here, insert a new slide. I'm fully in the browser here. I don't necessarily have to open PowerPoint to work on this presentation. The beautiful thing about this is several of my colleagues, anyone in this team, could open this file at the exact same time and work on it, and all of our changes will be synchronized. So I'm going to go in here as Amy. So here I am as Amy. Again, in the marketing team, the campaigns channel. In the File tab, gotta love Speed Racer, if you know who that is. Here's that same file. And we can see here that other people are editing this document. Right here it's telling me Karen is in this file. So where is she working? You'll see the little icons over here letting you know where people are working. Now because she's not active right now, it's not showing her icon because I'm here as Amy. Amy can edit this slide. Again, in a browser window. Let's go back to being Karen. You can see we're Karen here, and here are the changes that Amy has made and a little indicator letting me know that Amy's working on this slide. This is called co-authoring. You can do this in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote. If you need the full functionality of PowerPoint, you're not limited to using the Teams browser version. You can click the little ellipsis button here and open it in the desktop app. Your changes will also synchronize back, and you can still work with your coworkers on the same file with all the bells and whistles from PowerPoint or Word or Excel, whichever file you're working on. The difference is when you're working in the desktop version, you have to save your changes for people to see them and then also to retrieve the changes that other people have made. So a different way to think about working on your files in Teams. Instead of emailing them around, save them to a folder. Now, if you haven't already watched my OneDrive Sync video, you might want to watch that one because check it out. Right here under Sync, I can sync this file to my OneDrive. It's telling me I'm now syncing this library because maybe these are files I work on all the time. And let's look back at our File Explorer window. I now have a new tier in my File Explorer that has a little office building icon. It will tell you which team you're working on, which channel, and here are my local copies of those exact same files. All right, so that's working with files and Teams in a nutshell. So much more to it, but I just wanted to give you an introduction and get you started because I know some of you have been thrown to the wolves in the last couple of weeks working remote and not quite sure how to use these tools. In the next video, we're going to talk about using chat and meetings for conversations and communicating with your coworkers.
Thanks for watching. I'm Shortcut Sherry, and it's my job to make your job easier.